Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something called the 5 a.m. system, and we're going to look at the literally incredible true story of a guy who went from being a completely broke night guard all the way to a lead accountant. And get this, he didn't win the lottery, he didn't go back to some expensive four-year college, he completely transformed his reality just by changing his alarm clock. I know, it sounds crazy, but the math behind this strategy is absolutely fascinating. So let's just jump right in and break it down. I want you to imagine, just for a second, feeling totally, completely stuck. Like you're working incredibly hard, but you have absolutely zero to show for it. Well, that was everyday life for Thomas. He was a 32-year-old guy working as a night security guard at this massive warehouse. He was barely scraping by on a tiny salary, living in this crumbling one-room apartment where he literally slept on a mattress on the floor under a broken fan. I mean, the electricity was so bad that the single light bulb in his room would just constantly flicker. And look, Thomas wasn't lazy, not at all. He walked 4 miles to work every single day and did his job perfectly. But hard work all by itself, it wasn't changing his life. It was honestly just keeping him trapped in poverty. And a huge part of the problem was his schedule. His shift ran from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So every morning, totally exhausted, he'd trudge home right as the rest of the town was just waking up. He'd walk past windows and see families eating breakfast, kids getting ready for school, people heading off to their office jobs. He would then crash into bed around 7 a.m. and sleep until 4 in the afternoon. And it hit him, this incredibly painful realization that he was living backwards. Literally. While the rest of the world was moving forward and, building their dreams, he was sleeping through it. He desperately wanted to learn new skills, but his upside-down schedule left him completely drained. But then, everything shifted. It was a cold Tuesday morning in November. Thomas gets a terrifying call. His mother, exhausted and completely overworked, had collapsed from extreme stress and was rushed to the village hospital. When he got there, she looked up at him, her voice barely a whisper, and she said, "Please, my son, do not waste your life like I wasted mine. Find a way." Sitting right there, looking at her worn-out hands, Thomas didn't just feel sad. He felt this profound, overwhelming anger at his own helplessness. Standing outside that hospital in the dark at 5 a.m., he made a vow. He promised himself right then and there that he was done living like this. So right after that, a chance encounter happened that absolutely changed the game. On the 6 a.m. bus ride back to town, Thomas spots this wealthy, highly successful local businessman named Mr. Chun. And he's just sitting there, calmly reading a book. Thomas is totally shocked to see this rich guy on a public bus at dawn, so he asks him, "Why are you awake so early?" Mr. Chun casually mentions that he wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every single morning to plan his day before the world even stirs. When Thomas vents about his own miserable night shift schedule, Mr. Chun immediately diagnoses the root of the problem. He looks at Thomas and says, "So you are awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world works. No wonder you are stuck." Bam! Thomas's hard work was just completely misaligned with the actual rhythm of success. And this is where Mr. Chun introduces Thomas to a concept that I am so pumped to share with you all. He called them the magic hours. Basically, this is that slice of time between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. It is completely undisturbed, totally quiet time. There are no buzzing phones, no annoying emails, no distractions whatsoever. Plus, your willpower is at its absolute peak. Mr. Chun explained it like this. Right now, Thomas's life was like a house that was just crumbling apart because he never actually worked on the foundation. He was way too busy just trying to survive. But those 2 morning hours, that is pure foundation building time. Now, I really want to slow down for a second here. Let's let the actual math of this sink in, okay? Because 2 hours a morning might not sound like some massive, life-altering shift at first glance. But think about it. That is 14 hours a week. It's 60 hours a month. And over the course of just one single year, carving out 2 hours every morning adds up to a staggering 730 hours. Just let that number sit with you. 730 hours. That is a massive chunk of time completely dedicated to improving yourself, totally, completely uninterrupted by the everyday chaos. And if we break those numbers down even further, here's what that actually looks like in the real world. If you take those 730 hours and divide them into standard 8-hour workdays, you get 91 full workdays. Seriously, mathematically speaking, the 5 a.m. system hands you 3 entire extra months a year. 3 full months of laser-focused, deeply productive time that the rest of the world is quite literally sleeping through. This right here, this is the secret weapon of CEOs, pro athletes, top leaders. It's not magic, guys. It's just simple mathematics. So how do we actually do this? Mr. Chun gave Thomas a super strict, actionable system for those 2 hours. Step 1, Hour 1. From 5 o'clock to 6 a.m., this time is fiercely protected and dedicated exclusively to building skills. No TV, no scrolling social media, nothing. Thomas used this hour to watch free Excel and accounting tutorials on YouTube. Step 2, Hour 2. From 6 to 7 a.m., it's all about building the body and the mind. Because look, your body is your vehicle, right? If it breaks down, none of this matters. So Thomas spent 30 minutes walking briskly around his neighborhood, and then the last 30 minutes reading articles about the accounting industry. But listen to me carefully here. This system only works if you actually follow the rules. And Mr. Chan's rules were brutal, but they were absolutely non-negotiable. First rule, you wake at 5 a.m. every single day. No skipping weekends, no, oh, I'll just sleep in this one time. Nope. Second, you must be asleep by 9 p.m. You simply cannot cheat sleep and expect this to work. You have to take control of your rest. And third, you have to accept that the first week is going to be pure hell. Your body will absolutely hate you, and your brain is going to cook up every excuse in the book to hit snooze. But if you give in to those excuses, you destroy the foundation before it's even poured. Well, Thomas took the challenge. And his journey? It played out exactly as Mr. Chun predicted. Day 1 was just pure physical pain. He dragged himself out of bed in the pitch black, his eyes literally burning as he tried to focus on Excel tutorials. But he kept seeing his mother in that hospital bed, and he pushed through. And then, the breakthrough hit. Around day 20, his body just adapted. He actually started waking up 2 minutes before his alarm even went off. By the end of month 2, he had finished 3 online certificates, dropped some weight, and his mind felt razor sharp. He was building some serious momentum. And then came the massive payoff. In his 3rd month, Thomas took all those skills he had been grinding away at in the dark at 5 a.m., and he built a master Excel spreadsheet that completely organized the warehouse's messy inventory. The company had literally never had it done properly before. Well, word of this gets to the general manager, and on day 87, literally just 3 days shy of his 90-day goal, he gets called into the main office. They offered him a daytime job in their expanding accounting department. Boom! He doubled his salary and got off the night shift forever. Just 87 days before, he was a hopeless, exhausted night guard. Now, he's a respected office professional. All right, now I am turning this directly over to you. Thomas started with practically nothing. No college degree, no network, no money. If you're watching this explainer right now, you probably have the tools and the opportunity sitting right in front of you. So here is your personal 3-step challenge. Number 1, tonight, set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m. and plug your phone in across the room so you physically have to get out of bed to turn it off. Number 2, pick one skill to build for the next 90 days. Just one. Keep it focused. And number 3, violently protect that 9 p.m. bedtime. Turn off Netflix, stop doom scrolling, because a wasted evening is the absolute enemy of a successful morning. Let's fast forward 1 year. Thomas was officially named the company's lead accountant. He finally moved his mom into town so she could get the proper medical care she needed, and he rented this beautiful, bright apartment. But you know what the best part is? He still woke up at 5 a.m. every single day. His coworkers thought he was crazy. They'd ask him, "Why are you still doing this? You've already made it." And Thomas gave them this incredibly profound answer. He said, "Success is not a destination. It is a daily practice." For him, the 5 a.m. system wasn't just some quick life hack to score a better job. It had literally become his entire identity. Look, the difference between where you are right now and where you desperately want to be, it isn't about getting lucky, and it isn't about raw natural talent. It's all about how you utilize the time when everyone else is fast asleep. If you commit to this for just 90 days, you are going to become a stronger, much more disciplined, and incredibly capable version of yourself. So I'm going to leave you with this one final super important question to chew on tonight. What will you build tomorrow at 5 a.m.? Your future self is waiting on the other side of that alarm clock. Please do not make them wait another day.